balmy 8 degrees Fahrenheit out this morning. Totally hard freeze, as you can see. Very, very cold. Today I'm going to show you my bird bath heater setup. I'm going to answer questions about how many watts do you need? 50 watts, 60 watts, or 100 watts. Trudging through the snow here, but you can see it's completely crusted over. I'll come back to that in a few minutes here. And as you can see, I'm currently running 2 heaters and 1 bird bath. And then not only am I going to answer how many watts, but I'll show you how I calculate how much it costs to run it per hour. So let's go over here, walk through my trudgy snow. Before I get going, it's really appropriate that I'm talking about bird baths today because I was driving to the grocery store and I heard the term peacock and peahen. Now, for my entire adult life, I had only heard the term peacock, and I assumed there were male peacocks and female peacocks. I didn't realize that there were peacocks were male and peahens were female. Put it in the comments if this is the very first time that you've ever heard this term, or it's only me. Let me know either way. And let me know what you call a flock. I'll call it a flock because I know like geese and other birds aren't all flocks. But what do you call a large group of peas? I'll call them peas for now. Pea birds, peacocks and peahens. Peas, pea something? Please put it in the comments. Anyway, thanks for watching. And if you enjoy or you learn something from my content, hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. So how I run my bird bath heater is I don't have it on a timer, which actually would probably make sense, but I have it on this outdoor remote controlled light setup so that I can turn it on. And if I can't see this green light on this timer from inside my house, so I also have my deck lighting on it, which are just cheap LEDs, so that when the LEDs are on, I know the bird bath heaters are set up. And so I just wind one cord around there, and then I just drape it out, and I put it on a splitter, an outdoor rated splitter, and I put 2 bird bath heaters in there. One is 50 watts, one is 60 watts, and I'll link them in the show notes. The other thing I did with my bird bath heaters, I put rocks on them, and they do tend to float up a little bit, so just putting a rock on it, even though it's a little bit of a heat sink. So why multiple heaters? Well, I didn't know how many watts to buy when I was buying a bird bath heater, but apparently in northern New England, 50 watts only creates a little bit of a puddle. And I think I would have been better off with 100 watts. They also asked me, you know, they all claim to be thermostatically controlled. So you ask me, why am I using a remote control to turn them on and off? And it's just simply just because I don't have to just leave it on all the time. I definitely don't want to be heating my bird bath at night. There's no point of that. Nothing's coming out to drink out of my bird baths in the middle of the night. And then I guess I could use a timer, but ditto. If it's 34 out and the water is melted, I don't want to be heating it even if it's only for 5 or 10 degrees. So it's kind of like, to me, it's the most efficient. So while that's heating up, this is not outdoor rated, but we're just going to use it for a little bit. I'm going to put this kilowatt meter on here, and we'll see how many watts my 2 heaters are actually drawing along with the lights. Well, isn't that interesting? So one of my heaters is 50 watts. The other one claims to be 60 watts. But as you can see, I've also got probably about 5 watts of LED lights attached to the strand here. So I think that was just marketing fluff. The 60 watt one is probably 50 watts. All right. Man, it's cold. So 8 degrees. Solidly frozen ice. I find that you can freeze them no problem. I'm probably about 3 years in on these heaters, so this is their 3rd, maybe their 4th season, and they seem to work if you just let them get into a solid brick of ice every night. So we'll come back. Time is it right now? So it's 8:05 and 9 degrees out. And we'll come back in about a half hour and see how much melt we've had, if any, how long it takes to melt. Also, while you're looking at this, if you were to ask, should I get one 100-watt one or 250 watts, and you had the choice, in my opinion, I like the 250 watts because it spreads out the heaters into two sections instead of just one central section. But that's a personal choice. While I'm waiting for the bird bath heaters to heat up, let's try to figure out exactly how much it's going to cost us to run these. And the best way to do that is just to get your last power bill. Now, you're going to want to find the total amount that you paid for the month, and then you're going to simply just divide it by the kilowatt hours. And I don't care what they tell you on your bill. I'm looking at this. We've got a supplier charge. We've got a delivery charge. We've got all sorts of crazy, what I consider wackadoodle math. And then they'll tell you like, oh, you're only paying like 14 cents a kilowatt hour or something else. Mine is a whole lot more than that. So all you have to do is find out your total amount you paid for that month and find out the total amount of kilowatts that you consumed. And that'll give you your actual per kilowatt hour charge. So in this case, it was $200.85. We won't do a lot of math here, but still have to do math. The total amount, $285. $200.85. We'll divide that by my actual usage, 706. A lot of times they like to hide this around in your bill. I don't think they actually want to show you what that is. 706. And that is 28.4, 28.5 if you're rounding, 28.5 cents per kilowatt hour. That's my real cost. 28 cents per kilowatt hour. So if we have 106 watts, divide that by 1,000 is equal to 0.106. So that is 0.106 kilowatt hours. This is a kilowatt. And we're going to run it for an hour, 0.106. So we just take 0.106 times 0.285 is equal to 0.033 cents per hour. Multiply that times, we'll just say we run it for 10 hours a day. Now you're up to 30 cents a day times 30 days. This will cost you $9 to run at 10 hours a day. Oh, here it is. We are about an hour later, 12 degrees. Let's take a look, see how we're doing. Yeah, I see water right there. I don't know if you can see that, but that's definitely water. And it's bridged the gap to this other one here. It's a little dry on the top. So after this video is over, I will add water to the whole unit to keep them submerged. They don't like to be non-submerged, hence the rocks. But pretty good for an hour, enough for them to drink. And we'll just keep getting better throughout the day. So I'll come back in a few hours and we'll just see where we're at. Okay, so here we are about 2 hours later. It's warmed up to 16 degrees. And I know the sun's shining, but if you look at all the snow, nothing's really melting with that sun. It's firmly made a hugely nice puddle in there. So that's really good. So my final recommendation here is if you're living up in the north, you know, Minnesota, Chicago, northern New England, stuff like that, where the temperatures at night get below 10 degrees Fahrenheit, then get yourself at least 100 watts for your bird bath heater, especially if you're only going to run it part-time like me. And if money's not an option, get two 50s, because I really like how that kind of evenly opens up the bird bath, so there's more area for the birds, and it's going to cost more. But if budget's a little bit tighter, just get a single 100 watt. And I would say if you're living down in the mid-Atlantic, Pennsylvania, maybe not in the mountains, Maryland, you know, going west and stuff like that, wherever that is, where you just get occasional ice, you could probably just do with a single 50 watt heater. Now the cost for these are, if I run it 10 hours a day like I do, probably even less than that, because we do get a little bit warmer than that. It's about 30 cents a day for 100 watts, or $9 a month, and that's at my kilowatt hour rate of 28 cents a kilowatt hour. And if I were to run it and just leave it on 24 hours a day, it would be 72 cents a day, or $21.75 a month. So kind of, you know, use that and use those numbers as a general guide. If your kilowatt hour is half of that, all these numbers will be half of that too. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and have a great day.